My TikTok got banned like right after I hit 1 million followers. Not just shadow banned or restricted so to where I can't post or go live for a few weeks, like taken off. Like you could not search up my page and find it. So I said, let me build up my mom and my brother's page. And in I believe 2.5 weeks, I had collectively grown both of their pages to 1 million followers.
Wow. How'd you even start into getting into social media?
When I was young, I was obsessed with Minecraft, and I was obviously like any young kid wanted to be a YouTuber. I feel like it was every kid's dream to be like a YouTuber. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start uploading my Hunger Games episodes essentially to YouTube. And then I posted one video that actually did well, and that's kind of what gave me that dopamine hit. Like, you know, when you post a clip and you wake up the next morning and it's doing good, and you're like, oh my God, like this is great. You know, especially with AI stealing a large percentage of the viewership from short form creators that are trying to build a personal brand, it's already getting way more competitive. And people are looking for that authentic, real, non-fake persona in certain people they can relate to. I worked right next to my mom's like waxing, or she was working at a salon at the time, and I would go in there after work, and I started to like fuck with her while she was waxing me, and I just uploaded it to TikTok, and the video got like 100-something thousand likes.
Welcome to the Haas Media Podcast. I'm owner Haas.
And I'm Okan Haas.
And today we got a very special guest, Damien Apici. Welcome, Damien.
Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for being here, man. And we're super excited because, you know, you built your personal brand over the years and it's been massive, and you're young and you're still grinding and growing things. And what's that been like? We usually kind of go into backstory. So how'd you even start into getting into social media?
Yeah, it's funny. So when I was young, I was obsessed with Minecraft. It's really all I did throughout my days. And I was obviously like any young kid wanted to be a YouTuber. I feel like it was every kid's dream to be like a YouTuber. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just start uploading my Hunger Games like episodes essentially to YouTube. And you know, I found like a love for editing too, because you know, obviously I saw like the unique edits that all of these YouTubers were using, and I wanted to learn. I was like 10 years old. This was like a while ago. It was like 2011, 2012.
Yeah, I don't think editing softwares were even that advanced as they are now.
No, not even. I was like on
iMovie.
I was on iMovie, just trying to put stuff together, add text on the screen, and like find the fonts and stuff. But yeah, that's kind of all where it started. So I was doing that for probably like a year or two, maybe 3 years most. Had like 100 subscribers or two, and then I posted one video that actually did well, and that's kind of what gave me that dopamine hit. Like, you know, when you post a clip and you wake up the next morning and it's doing good, and you're like, oh my God, like this is great. I kind of had that for the first time. I believe the video was posted in 2012, so I'm not going to do math right now and figure out how old I was, but I must have been like 5th grade or something. But it was definitely a good feeling. And then, you know, TikTok started to become popular when I was a freshman in high school. So I started to, you know, I downloaded the app. At first, you know, like every kid was like, oh, I'm not going to download TikTok. It's just like Musically, like that's cringe.
Right.
But then you fall victim to, you know, all your friends having it and stuff. So I downloaded it, and then I just started posting like random clips of my friends and I, random clips of my family that I thought was funny. And then they just started to perform well. And I started to look at, okay, people clearly like, for example, I worked at McDonald's in 2019. And this was like really the year I started posting a lot, like 2018, 2019. And I worked at McDonald's starting like the summer of 2019. So after work, I worked right next to my mom's like waxing, or she was working at a salon at the time. And that's where she would wax. And I would go in there after work, and you know, on days that she would need to do my eyebrows, I'm half Italian, so I'm pretty hairy. Yeah, exactly. So you guys get it. And I started to like fuck with her while she was waxing me. And I just uploaded it to TikTok, and the video got like 100-something thousand likes.
Wow.
And then I'd say quarterly I'd post a waxing video, just because, once again, I was young. So I wasn't taking it seriously. I didn't see the potential in it all at the time. I was like 14, 15. Mm-hmm. So, but I did notice that every time I would upload a waxing video, that it would do well. So that's kind of where it started to go.
Just double downing on that.
Yeah, exactly. Just doubling down. That's what it was. So that happened, but it wasn't until I started to see because it wasn't just the waxing at first. I was posting things with my friends, but I didn't understand. My page was just a conglomerate of everything.
Gotcha.
And then, you know, it obviously transitioned into
I feel like you also started like with your TikTok, for example, like you'll have these like funny scenarios that kind of come out of it. Do you kind of plan that out, or like does your family kind of with those, like, is it kind of just natural?
So it's a little mix of both, because I get this question all the time. And to be completely honest, it's like half-half, I'd say. Because some of my most viral videos are completely unplanned.
Mm-hmm.
But then some of them are semi-planned. So I'll be like, I'm about to record, but I don't really give a prompt or any direction. I just kind of turn on the camera in certain moments. And then, you know, when my dad or my mom or my brother sees the camera on, they've gotten so used to it that they just like flip right into character. And then there's other times where I'll read the comments and I'll see what people find funny. So like people will like that my mom's like super, let's say, the way she treats my brother like a baby because he's the youngest sibling.
Yeah.
And I'll notice these patterns, and that's sometimes how I'll craft the next video.
Right.
Is going through.
But you've made your family pretty famous.
Yeah, thank you. I'd like to think I did okay so far.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
That's awesome though. It's like one thing that I think that, you know, we were talking before we got into the podcast that I actually really like is, and what you just said on the podcast is, you're working at McDonald's, and, you know, it's not like you came from money. It's not like, you know, you had all the resources and stuff. Like, what was that day-to-day grind like, from working to actually like putting the videos together and trying to learn the systems and learn the softwares, and like what made you keep going forward?
So I always liked to work, and I actually had some friends when I was really young as 13, 14 years old, that had small jobs, and that actually pushed me to want to get a job. But what jobs can you really get at 14? Like whenever I tell people I started working at McDonald's at 14, they're like, they hired you at 14? Like, that's pretty nuts.
That's such a good point, yeah.
But the one in Florham Park, New Jersey, like they were hiring some young guys, like they had a way to go about it. And they had like a 14-year-old kid working there, and that's the one. My mom worked at a salon like right next door, and she went in and she asked on behalf of me and got me like an application and everything.
Wow.
And then, you know, she was a regular there. She'd go in and get like her Diet Coke and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So the manager, I guess, knew her, and they decided to hire me. But at the time, I was playing competitive soccer, so, you know, I played my entire life. People don't really know this about me, but in high school, I didn't go out that much. Like, I wasn't really a partier in high school. I didn't touch my lips to alcohol until really high school was over. So I was really dedicated and focused on soccer. So what my life looked like at that age was just soccer, McDonald's, and then posting. Like, I really just found like that that kept me entertained all the time.
Right.
And I always thought, how cool would it be if me and my friends went viral, and, you know, when we went out, people knew my friends and I, and that's really what kept me going. But, you know, what did it look like on a day-to-day? I would have practice. On the days I wasn't working, I would have practice. So after school, it would be school for 6 hours, and then it would be work or practice until I would go home, and then probably go to sleep and then rinse and repeat. But yeah.
That's awesome, man. And one other thing I'd say is like when you first started on YouTube, like how was your family with that? Like, were they like, what the heck is this thing? Or like, were they supportive or?
Yeah, I think my mom and dad liked that I was getting creative or letting my creative juices fly. They didn't mind. I have them to thank for a lot of it, because they bought me my first like Mac, like desktop. And I'll never forget, I remember I really wanted one because I was playing Minecraft on like those small, it wasn't like a MacBook Pro or an Air. It was like one of those just like Mac, I forget the name of it. It was like white though. It wasn't like, I don't remember the name. It was a weird like laptop Mac.
Yeah, they had like a white one and a black one. Right?
Yeah. It was like really bad. And I really wanted a Mac. And I remember they surprised me with it one day. There's a video of it somewhere. And I have them to thank for it, because of that Mac, I started to upload videos. I started to do content. But overall, they were very supportive. And I actually, the car, sorry.
No, it won't.
But yeah, so they were always supportive of it, but my mom did have bigger dreams for me,
Right.
rather than just do content. The reason I played soccer my whole life is because she always saw me playing competitively, and she was always very, very strict when it came to soccer specifically, more than school. And that's because she wanted me to play at a higher level, play in college, potentially go and play professionally. But, you know, that's not the path I wanted to go down. So when I told her, you know, this was around when like I started to do well. I had like a few 100,000 followers on TikTok. I told her I didn't want to play soccer anymore just because I was done with like the politics.
Yeah, how did she take that?
She hated it. I genuinely like had to leave the house for like hours at a time.
Yeah,
Not because she was like, you know, she was just extremely upset, and extremely passionate about
Right.
all the time invested into soccer and these dreams she had for me. So she didn't take it well, but at least I had something that I was doing in the background.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
Did you like when you started? Did you think that you kind of end up in this where you are right now with it?
Honestly, yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I always, from a young age, I just knew. I don't know.
Like,
maybe
did you
that
want to go to
sounds-
college?
No. But I didn't. I always knew deep down that I didn't want to go. That was always something that I felt like deep inside of me. But because of the whole mom and the playing soccer in college, I was like, maybe I will end up going just because she wants me to so bad. And
Right.
Yeah.
I always play, like I always am playing for these teams, and like I always thought she would never let me stop playing, type of thing.
Gotcha.
I was like, I gotta play, you know,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
my mom would be so upset. I never imagined a world where my life isn't just playing soccer. So,
Do you still do pickups from time to time?
yeah, it actually just started back up like in
Nice.
these last 2
Nice.
weeks, and I love it so much. But yeah,
Yeah.
she didn't take it well.
Yeah, that's it's crazy. I mean, you know, one of the biggest things is when people start out, even when we're working with clients and stuff, it's nothing is guaranteed. You know what I mean?
No.
Like, you don't know what's gonna pop off and what's gonna actually do well on social media. Are you gonna make money? You know what I mean? And when you don't have that guarantee, you know, a lot of times parents, you know,
Plus, it's kind of a newer thing. You
Yeah,
know?
exactly.
So they don't really get it.
They don't
A lot of
understand.
But when it does hit, it makes, you know, it's pretty obvious that it works.
It does well.
Yeah, yeah.
And my mom was the reason I was doing well too. So it was kind of like contrary to her point of like, you should stay playing soccer, go to college, play soccer, when that wasn't something I wanted to do. But it was because of our videos doing so well. And
Yeah. Well, you clearly made the right decision though,
thank you.
because we both went to college and we
yeah,
don't even fucking
I wouldn't
use it.
recommend it.
Would not recommend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. Like, it's fun. Like, I went to, you know, University of Miami. It was a good time. But, I mean, it's a fucking, like, then I got a job after, and I'm like, I just couldn't see myself working for somebody else. Like, all day you're just being told what to do kind of thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's, if you're not that type of person where you could, you know, sit down and just kind of take orders all day
I
and
can't.
build somebody else's thing, like, you just won't be able to survive in that kind of, you know, environment.
Agreed.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
For me, it was more technical. I went to Stevens in Hoboken.
Okay, yeah.
So I did like quantitative finance. You know, all these guys are supposed to make like $500,000, $1 million a year after 5 years of working in the industry. But I don't know, I did a couple interviews and I couldn't see myself in that world. And you know, I feel like they kind of bait and switch people in college a lot, and you don't have a direction. You want to make the most money possible. But they don't teach you I think the biggest skill that you learn doing something for yourself is earning the skill and building yourself from the ground up and being able to create self-development for yourself, right?
Absolutely.
Like, no one told you, hey, do all these videos and you're going to become famous one day or make millions and millions of views one day, right? Or change your family's trajectory of like how they live on a day-to-day basis. No one told you that, but you earned it. And now you know how to do it, and I think like no one can take that away from you.
Never.
If an account got shut down tomorrow, you know exactly what to do to get yourself back up.
It's
right?
true. And that's a great point. And to add to that point, it actually happened to me my senior year, which was 2022. That's the year I graduated. That's when I went on a super big run, and I decided I'm not going to college. I'm going to take content as serious as possible and treat it like a business. So that year is when I started to plan out my videos and my filming and get together with my mom. And at this point, soccer was already over, and she had basically accepted that I wasn't going to go, because I did apply to college.
Yeah.
And all the, you know, typical New Jersey schools, and I got accepted. I had a decent GPA in high school. It was like I applied with like a 3.4, like somewhere
Nice.
in that ballpark. So, yeah, I started to plan out all these videos with my mom and start to treat it like a business. But unfortunately, the same month I graduated, actually a month earlier, my TikTok got banned like right after I hit 1 million followers.
Oh,
wow.
shit.
So, but not just shadow banned or restricted, so to where I can't post or go live for a few weeks, like taken off. Like you could not search up my page and find it.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was a super
Damn.
big issue. And I
Why
said,
did that happen?
it happened because they deemed the waxing content we were doing at the time violent.
That's such
What?
bullshit.
And all the cursing, and my mom, you know, using some sailor language, and us like it was just very chaotic, and
Yeah.
the algorithm might have picked it up as aggressive.
Yeah, that's the only thing. It's such bullshit when that happens. Like, we have one guy that we work with. His is like long form fasting is his thing.
Yeah.
and it's like it said it like it's promoting
Eating disorder.
like eating disorder.
Yeah.
But it's
Dude.
like, but he's not doing that at all. Like he's got people messaging him like all the time, like thank you so much, you saved my life, yada yada yada. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like and it's like they just if they want to, it just happens.
It's
That's
horrible.
the only scary part.
So how'd you get around like actually getting unbanned?
So I had to submit some appeals through TikTok. It actually wasn't that difficult. It just took a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had to submit a few, if I'm remembering correctly. But during that time when I got banned, I was on such a run that I said, I can't just let this run go to waste.
Yeah.
I have something here and millions of people waiting for the next waxing session at the time.
Right.
So I said, let me build up my mom and my brother's page. And in I believe 2.5 weeks, under 3 weeks, I had collectively grown both of their pages to 1 million followers.
Wow.
Holy shit.
Yeah, my mom was like 600K and change, and then my brother was like 350 plus
That's wild.
and change around.
Because I feel like that dynamic that you build, it's almost like it's like that Kardashian effect. You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It's like the like kind of just like day-to-day life kind of thing, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Where it's like people are almost bored of their lives and they're curious what's going on behind the scenes, behind the curtains of other people's lives. So I feel like you guys really did a good job kind of building that dynamic. You know what I mean?
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it's also like, it's what people want to see on a day-to-day basis. I think social media is also changing a lot too. Like, it's I don't know if you've seen them, but I guess like the talking head videos and stuff are doing way better. The more organic it is, the way better. Nobody's really into like the scripted stuff anymore. And,
No.
And you kind of built your personal brand around that. Like, what made you decide to go that route? Was that planned, or it just kind of took off after that one video hit for you?
Well, it fell into place because at the time that I started to film and really see a lot of success, I was posting content with my mom, my brother, and I was doing a lot of the filming.
Right.
So I wasn't in all of the content. I would say it was like a 50-50 split, but I knew that, eventually I have to put my face in as many videos as possible and start to build myself up to, essentially set myself up for the future. So what I decided to do, and this is really where it happened on Instagram, because TikTok, it's a little different. I feel like Instagram's the best place to build your personal brand, and it's a lot more interactive. But I started using my Instagram Reels as a way to bring people in, using my mom, my dad, my brother, the family dynamic, to then kind of have them see how I am on my feed and on my stories, to kind of build myself up that way. That's kind of how I view the funnel a little bit. And then obviously on my Instagram, I've been focusing a little bit more recently, posting videos of myself talking, being a little more involved in the videos.
Was that a hard transition for you?
It's a little bit more difficult because, I'm so used to filming my brother, my mom. Ooh,
You're good.
Jeez. So used to filming my mom, my brother, and my dad that, when the camera's on me, I wouldn't say it's difficult. Like, I have no problem. It's really been like that forever, but you definitely have to take into consideration.
Did you have like a formula? Do you have a formula that you kind of, obviously you figured something out, right? Like you grew all these accounts to, millions of followers.
Yeah.
What is there a secret?
Yeah, there is, but it's not so much a secret. Like, I don't mind sharing it.
Yeah.
I would say, and this kind of is going to add on to the point you guys made earlier with the authenticity. Obviously, we have essentially an ecosystem built already. But my secret at this point, for example, my dad's Instagram was pretty dead around last year, around this time actually, 20,000 followers, and I wanted to build up his personal brand. How did I do that? I went onto my page and, you start looking at the comments, what people are saying about him, why people are following. Oh, I like your dad. Okay, you go watch the video. Why do people like dad? What did dad say in this video? Mm-hmm. At what point did he say this? Who did he make laugh? What are the comments saying about, the way he's acting in the video? And then you start to make content for their pages based around, essentially the feedback that you're getting. But if I had to say, or if I had to give advice to somebody starting from scratch, I would say that you need to give the camera as many authentic moments as possible of yourself or your surroundings, what you do on a day-to-day basis, because you know, especially with AI stealing a large percentage of the viewership
Yep.
from short form creators that are trying to build a personal brand, it's already getting way more competitive.
So
And
true.
people are looking for that authentic, real, non-fake persona
Right.
in certain people they can relate to. And if you can find something you can speak confidently on for a long period of time, over and over again, day to day, and also capture like some authenticity within it, then I think you'll do extremely well on social media.
Yeah, I completely agree with that.
That's a great point too. It's the AI is getting like out of hand, man. Like,
Ridiculous.
I see a lot of accounts that have 250,000, 450,000 likes, not even views, likes. And it's like, how do people not understand that this is AI? And you go through the comment section, because a lot of what we do when we're helping build personal brands is, you know, we're scrolling through doom scrolling to find like good stuff. But you look at the comments and like people think it's like real. And
Yeah.
have you felt the impact of AI with your social media at all?
Not necessarily, but I did see a statistic. I don't remember the percentage, but with all of these AI accounts, I mean, think about it. When you're scrolling, within 20 scrolls, at least 3 to 5 are going to be AI generated nonsense.
Yeah.
And think about how many scrolls you're doing a day, or the average person is doing a day. And all of those views that could be going to actual authentic creators are going to these AI pages.
Right.
I think it's smart for the people, you know, running the pages, because they're clearly monetizing in some way. But at the same time, it's going to get a little more difficult for some creators to adapt. And in my opinion, or from personal experience, I haven't had any issues with, you know, viewership going down or anything. But
Yeah.
to some, they might see it as...
So do you monetize mostly off of the platforms, or do you kind of have your own kind of business model?
No, so we have our own business model, but, you know, the way I've made money along the years with social media has changed drastically, because once again, you know, times are just, as you guys know, times
Yeah.
are just changing
Well,
constantly.
when you first started, TikTok was doing like
fresh.
crazy payouts, right?
Not even,
Oh, really?
Or
because
they just stopped it.
they might have just, so when I just started doing well on social media, like 2022 was when I really started to treat it like a business, post consistently to where you would expect your monthly payout from the platform to be decent. It actually was very bad.
Wow.
Like, I want to say I was doing like 50 million views just on my page a month at the time, maybe more. It honestly might have been like 100 million plus
Wow.
in
That's nuts.
that season. And I was getting paid maybe 1,000 a month,
No way.
1.5 thousand a month from TikTok. Yeah, it was
That's
horrible.
crazy.
And this was like spring 2022. The only time the TikTok payouts were decent was in, I would say, like summer, fall of 2023, when the RPM actually consistently stayed at $1. So
Gotcha.
for every 1,000 views you got, you would get $1. So every million views was 1,000. Did I do the math right? Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
Every
1,000
million
yeah,
views, you would get
$1,000.
$1,000.
Right.
At that point, it was okay, because you get a video with 7 million views, you get $7,000, which is actually pretty good. And no, but the first way, actually, this is a pretty interesting story of how I made my first decent bit of money on social media. It was while I was working at McDonald's, and it was why I quit working at McDonald's. So I don't know if you guys are aware, but in 2021, early 2021, there was a program on Snapchat
Yep.
where they were trying to bring people over from these other short form
Was it
platforms,
Spotlight?
Spotlight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were giving out like $1 million a day to the top 10 creators.
Holy shit.
So it was
That's
rid-
fucking crazy.
it was ridiculous. And my mom called me into her room. I remember I must have been home from work or practice or something. She called me into her room, and she had like the news on, and she was like, this couple just posted on Snapchat Spotlight, and they got not even that many views, 800,000 views for like some sort of satisfying video of them like slicing a pineapple. I don't remember the specifics. I mean, 800,000 views is a lot of views, but
Yeah.
in comparison to these other platforms, like, you know,
Yeah,
but they got
it's not-
$500,000 is what I'm getting at
Holy
for that video.
fuck.
So that's
That's like
Did
that's
you
like-
jump on Snapchat right after that?
so I go in my room and I grab my phone. Well, I had my phone, but I go and sit down on my bed, and we had like all these little waxing clips of my mom like waxing my arm, me like screaming to piss her off, her making crazy faces at me, and I started to just dump these short clips onto onto Snapchat Spotlight, and I just was spamming the platform, and I would repeat the clips as well, and all of a sudden, it was 3 weeks later when I had got a text, and I'll actually show you this. I still have it saved in chat from Team Snapchat. And they said something like, pending eligible payouts, your spotlight might have earned you cash. So I was like, oh, wow. Like, maybe this is true. The video that performed well got 2 million views, for context.
Oh,
Wow.
shit.
So I'm like, this couple got that much money. Like, there's no way I'm getting all this money. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
You don't want to believe it. Mind you, I'm working at McDonald's.
Right.
I actually liked my job, so it wasn't like, oh my God, I'm going to quit if I make
Yeah.
all this money. But still, once again, you don't want to believe. You don't want to get too excited and then it not happen, right?
Yeah.
So I just played it cool, but I started searching up on TikTok. I started searching other people that were getting paid out from Spotlight and how much. And I saw some other girl, she posted, she got around like 900,000 views. She got like $50,000, $55,000. So I was like, doing the math, I was like, just there's no way, right? So another few weeks go by, and I get another text from them, and my heart like dropped when I had like the blue text from Team Snapchat. And I opened it, and it said, pending something final payouts, your Spotlight submission from March, I think it was March 8th to March 10th, earned you $109,000.
Holy
Damn.
shit.
I was 16, so
That's wild.
once again,
man.
like my heart's like racing, and I'm looking at this. It's like winning. It's like hitting the
Winning
lottery.
lottery,
You know?
yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit. So what am I gonna do here? I needed to make like a hyper wallet. I don't know if you guys are familiar. Hyper wallet. It's like an extension of PayPal. I believe they used to pay Fortnite creators through hyper wallet. I don't know.
Is
It's
it like a blockchain type thing?
not even. It was like a payment processor type platform.
Okay.
I'm not too sure, but I think PayPal might have owned them at the time or still do, whatever. And I needed to make an account on there, and they were going to transfer this large sum of money through there, and then it would get sent to my bank account. So I remember I made the account, and I thought I was going to see the money right away, but it said like $0. So I was like, oh shit, like maybe I got all excited for nothing. And then a few weeks go by, and nothing's dropping into the account. And I'm like, oh no, like I just got all excited for what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I decided to just, trek on. And then all of a sudden I got an email because I had hooked up my email to the Hyperwallet account. And I got 3 emails in a row. It said money, 92,000 was deposited, 5,000 was deposited, 7,000. And it equated to, 109,000. And I saw these emails coming in. I opened the Hyperwallet and there's all the money.
Holy
shit.
fuck.
So I'm like, wow.
What was that
God
feeling
damn,
like?
bro.
It was insane. I'll never forget. I was in bed on the phone with my girlfriend, and we were just having a conversation. And I see the
that's fucking
Gmail
nuts.
notifications popping up, and I'm like tweaking out. I run to my mom's room. And I'm like, Mom, like you just made me all this money, because she told me about it.
Right.
She was in the video. I'm like, Mom, like look at this. This is insane. And she didn't want to celebrate. She's like, I'm not gonna start getting excited. She didn't believe me at first.
Right.
She's like, I'm not going to get excited until I see it, because she had access to my high school checking account,
Mm-hmm.
until I see it inside of the actual
Checking account.
checking account. She's like, once it hits your bank account, then we can start getting all excited, because you never know, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, but it was definitely a surreal feeling.
That's
Dude, that's
sick,
fucking,
man.
that's crazy.
That's the thing about moms, though. Like once they're on board, they're on board. Like,
True.
it's
It's true.
crazy because like you probably told her like, Ma, I'm not doing this soccer thing. I'm done with it. I'm going all into social media. She's probably researching what the ins and outs of everything, and then for her to see that Spotlight thing, it's like, because not a lot of many people knew like Spotlight. You know what I mean?
No.
Did you keep pursuing that?
Yeah. So funny enough, and this is actually even crazier, I continued to post, and I actually never got another payout from them, but I did tell a few people to do what I was doing, but they didn't make their own content. So I told them to go and take satisfying videos and upload them to Snapchat Spotlight. And actually, one of my friends at the time, I was pretty close with him. He worked in the McDonald's drive-thru with me, right next to me. I would go into work, we would sit there, and we would just upload videos together, in between cars. We were like first window, so we were like taking money, doing orders and stuff.
Yeah.
And I told him to do this method where he would upload satisfying videos. He actually made 70 grand himself.
Oh shit.
God damn, dude.
And then I told my goalie on my soccer team, he did the same method, and he made 10 or 15 grand. I forget the exact number. So I had 2 other people that saw some success doing this method.
That's awesome.
And we were like 17. I was 16. One of the other kids was 16, and then my friend at the drive-thru was a year
Bro,
older than me.
16 making 110 grand.
Yeah,
That's fucking nuts.
unreal.
Yeah, it's insane, dude. So like, okay, so you're 16 years old. You made your first 109,000.
Yeah.
You're getting all these views. You're starting to grow the account. So how do you start to monetize after that? Because like, you need to keep this as a full-time job, right?
Absolutely.
Like, you can't just do it for free for 10 years and expect nothing.
Not at all.
So what's that like?
So, funny enough, right after I earned that money, or I would say got lucky, earned my stretch. That's a lot of money. But what happened after that? So I probably got that payout. I posted the video in March. I got that payout in May or late April. And in April, so a month after I posted that video, I went to Miami with my mom, my brother, and my girlfriend at the time. And we were still, I believe, in the process of either waiting. I don't remember if I had gotten any text from Team Snapchat yet, but regardless, we were pulling in a lot of views still at the time. A couple months prior, I had my first video hit like 40 million views. That one video had me 400,000 followers, shit. Damn near in a week.
It's fucking nuts.
So we were already catching momentum a lot during that time. But I went to Miami, and my mom was talking to this mysterious man by the poolside, like probably around 8 p.m. She's like, come down, I need you to meet somebody. I was like, that's a little strange. Like, who could you possibly have met, like, at our hotel, you know, by the poolside? And I believe it was somebody that worked at the pool, but my mom was explaining to him that we have been seeing some success on social media. And he was like, so you got all these views, like, how are you monetizing? I don't even think I knew what the word meant at the time. I was like, what do you mean? He's like, dude, he's like, a lot of brands struggle to get what you already have, which is the viewership and, you know, people watching your videos over and over and over again. You have that side already figured out. You're almost doing it backwards. He's like, you need to be selling some sort of product or some sort of service. So I said, all right, like what? And he said, well, you're doing waxing. Let's think about this a little bit. He said, why don't you drop ship? He was like, have you heard of drop shipping? I said, no, I have no idea what that is. And he ran me through, you know, the entire process of how drop shipping works. And he gave me some YouTubers to watch to learn more about drop shipping. And he said, why don't you drop ship waxing products? So why don't you do waxing strips, waxing pots, you know, those sticks,
Smart, yeah.
you know, stuff that have to do with waxing, because that's what we were posting. Use the strips in your video or the pot, and then you start drop shipping them through your page. Now I was really intrigued. It was the only thing I could think about for the rest of the trip.
Right.
So we get home from Miami, and I instantly start watching some of the YouTubers he suggested that I watched. And I started to just do as much research as possible, figure out how to build a website through Shopify. I did it all myself. I sat there and watched all these super long tutorials on YouTube. And eventually I had a website up. I found a supplier somewhere in Asia, and I had my website running. I had, you know, these I think I just started with strips, but I started with like the big ones and then the smaller ones for your face. So the big ones for like your arms, legs, and then the smaller ones for your face. So I threw these up on the website. The website was pretty bad. Wow, voice crack. The website was pretty bad, but you know, we made it work. And then I just started posting it on TikTok. You know, I ordered a bunch of these strips, and I had them sent to my house, and I just started making videos with those instead of my mom, whatever she uses for, you know, because she's a waxer. She has like her specific wax and her waxing pot, but we just started to use my product. It had no labeling or no brand really on any of the strips. So
were you like kind of like running ads kind of to it?
I wasn't running any ads.
It was straight organic?
Straight organic.
Straight organic to like link in bio?
Yes, link in bio.
How fast did you get your first transaction from the time you put up your website to launching it?
So it wasn't instant, because I thought I was going to post it and it was just going to take off, and it didn't. I want to say the first video I did promoting it actually didn't do that well, and I wasn't getting that many transactions, but I realized a few things. Like I didn't have I forget, I don't think I had Apple Pay set up, or there was something wrong with the website to where they were clicking the link and there was an issue. But I'll never forget the night that I had a video with the bio or caption saying link in bio, where I started getting a ton of orders. And I'll tell you how that happened. So this must have been like maybe a month in to actually releasing the website and, you know, polishing all of the buttons, like picking the colors, uploading it, like messing with it. Because once again, I had no idea how to build a website.
Yeah.
So I had my friend, one of my best friends, his name is Dom. We were dating best friends, and they came over to my house, and we were just messing around, hanging out with my mom. And we were just messing about, and we had these waxing strips, and my mom wanted to wax my friend, and she took one of the smaller strips and pulled it off of his arm, and he screamed like a little girl. And it was a really short video, and I remember I didn't post it at my typical posting hour. I remember back then, like, I used to post always at the same time, but for whatever reason this time I posted around midnight. And then I was going over to my boy's house to, you know, sleep over there, play some pool. He had a pool table and stuff. And I remember about an hour in or 2 hours in, the video was getting a bunch of views, and it was clearly an outlier because it was performing really well. And I had my notifications on for Shopify, and you know the cha-ching sound effect?
Yeah.
I remember my phone, we were playing pool in his basement, and the phone was on the table, and I started to hear cha-ching, and I was like, oh my God, I was like freaking out. I mean, it was like a $24 order. I was like low-key upcharging a lot at the time. It was like, you know, I was getting them for really cheap and upcharging them. But I remember seeing the first order, and I was tweaking out. I was like, oh my God. And then that actually might have been why I went and checked to see how the video was doing, because
Gotcha.
I had like link in bio in the caption, and I realized it was doing good. I was like, yo, we might start getting orders. And then all night it was just cha-ching, cha-ching,
That's crazy.
cha-ching.
That's
and I was like,
fucking
oh my God,
wild.
this is insane.
You're printing at that point.
Yeah, it was doing pretty well at the time. And I did that for a little bit. And then I started to get complaints on shipping time because I was drop shipping them from Asia. So
Right.
the shipping times were awful. And once again, I was pretty new to it. So I just stopped it as a whole because I didn't want my name attached to, you know, I realized like I didn't want my name attached to these low quality waxing
Right,
strips
yeah.
and bad shipping times and stuff. So
Because at the end of the day, it's your personal brand.
yeah, and I don't want to torch it.
Right.
Right. So I
Yeah,
just decided to
that's
stop.
smart. And where does your brother help you out at all?
So he does help me now, but at the time all this was going on, he was pretty against social media. You know, he was in that puberty, beginning of high school stage around the time that it really started to take off, 2021, like 2020 to like 2022. So he didn't really want anything to do with being on camera. He didn't mind. It wasn't like, don't film me. But, you know, the whole let's get together and film something was kind of like pretty foreign to him.
Yeah.
But he definitely does help me now. He graduated high school last summer.
Right.
So it'll be almost a year since he's been out of high school. And, you know, he got used to it during high school and started helping me, I would say, his sophomore, junior year. And, you know, he knew from then he wasn't going to go to college to pursue doing content full time with me.
Yeah.
And so ever since then, he's been helping me out, and he still helps me to date. But now that he doesn't play soccer anymore, because he played competitively as well, and he was actually a very good player. Now that he doesn't play competitively and he's not in school, he has a lot more time to spend, you know, helping with the
Yeah.
business.
Are you helping build his personal brand as well?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So my whole goal stemming from senior year, and I have this stuff written out, so referencing back to 2022 again, because that's when I turned inwardly to try to figure out why. I turned inwardly to figure out just how I'm going to set myself up for the future, because I knew I was going to college. And like we were talking earlier about having a boss and everything, I did have an authority problem sometimes with these teachers. I had some horrible teachers that were just so rude and they were, you know, especially with the mask thing at the time, like they would yell at me. Like they would yell at me, I would get detention because it would be like under my nose. And then back when I was really young, you know, and they were just singling me out, I would talk back to them, be like, why are you doing this to me? Like I didn't even do anything that bad. So I think that's where all the content stemmed from. But anyway, to tie back to the original point I was making, I wanted to essentially set my brother up so he didn't have to face the same problems I was having internally of not wanting to go to school, not having to work. So I have the notebook still. I used to write like my goals in my notebook every day in school because I just wanted senior year to be over so I could just do this full time. and I would write in my notebook like why I'm grinding, what I had to do for the day. I would like even quote things teachers would say to me. Like, yeah, I had teachers literally say to the class, watch where he's going to be in a year. Like, you should not be following what this kid's saying. Because I had followers at the time, so all the kids in the class, I had like some electives with some younger students. And they would all want to like talk to me and see what I'm doing on my computer. Because at this point, I was so checked out of school that I was not paying any attention to any of the teachers. I wasn't being disruptive. I wasn't being...
You were just locked in.
I was just on my computer in the back of the class,
Yeah.
just not paying attention. But these younger kids, they wanted to turn around and see what I was doing. They were curious.
Oh, shit.
And these, funny enough, these classes were like social media marketing classes and sports marketing classes, and you know, the teachers were really bothered by that. But I wrote in my notebook, I wanted to like set my brother up, essentially. I wrote down, I forget the exact quote, but it was like put Devin on the map or something. And I still have like a picture of it, and I still have the notebook too. And so that's why I started to, you know, when I started to see success on my TikTok page with the waxing, I started to take all those clips with him in them and distribute them on his page. And we grew his page to 400 something thousand within like 2 months of posting, because we already had a crazy amount of momentum.
And when did that start?
That started, so I created the page, I want to say March or April of 2022.
Okay.
And then like I had it, but I wasn't posting that much on it to focus on my page for a few months until like May. May is when I hit 1 million followers on my page. I remember I had a goal in my notebook. It said I was at 600,000 right before I started to take content seriously and really start planning out my videos. And I said I want 1 million before I graduate, or 1 million by June, something like that. I hit the goal by May, and then I got banned like middle of May. And so I had Devin's account. It had like a few thousand followers, I wanted to say, but we had some batch recordings of these waxing videos that were just, they were like golden sessions that were just so funny and so chaotic that they blow up now to this day when I repost them.
That's awesome.
So
reposting is a thing.
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
And I'm going to get into that in a little bit too. But I took all of these golden videos and I started uploading them on his page and my mom's page. I was doing 2 a day, 7:30 and 9:30. And I want to say I started this late May, and by like 3rd week of June, I want to say I had 600 something thousand on my mom's. She already had like 100,000 before I started, and my brother had like 400,000 around. And that was one of my goals, was to make sure that, you know, he was taken care of. And obviously my mom too. My dad wasn't so much with the whole content thing yet. That comes a little bit later on, and then this same thing continued. I was aware all throughout my brother being in high school that he's going to be busy playing soccer and being in school, and he was more involved with the kids in his grade opposed to myself. You know, he actually was going out a lot with his friends. He didn't have a job. He actually stopped playing soccer a little bit earlier than I stopped. So he had a lot of time to, you know, just enjoy like high school and whatnot. Yeah. And I thought, you know what, like I'm not going to sit here and be like, yo, Devin, like we need to lock in. And I obviously did, being an older brother, you can't really control that. But, you know, my whole thing was I need to set him up. So I would take care of, you know, a lot of the background, figuring out how we're going to position ourselves in terms of like,
that's the hardest part,
how people are going to view us and whatnot. And then he would obviously help with the filming. He would always be there. But
that's crazy. You like really set your family up on the map, man.
Thank you.
So like, that's fucking sick.
I kind of like, I really like your story, because a lot of times like when we talk to creators and stuff, it's like they're just doing their own thing for themselves. Yeah. But like you really just put your whole family on the map together, and like what Okan was saying, like created that Kardashian type of feel. Is that always the plan, or like how, like what was that like?
I wouldn't say it was always the plan, but it definitely, like I said, when I had in my notebook put my brother on the map, that was always a thing. Because around that time, funny enough, that's like when Andrew Tate came on the map. And he was posting a lot. He was like super controversial. I was watching a lot of that content, and one of the key takeaways I took from their content was how close him and his brother were. And I always said, like, that's how me and my brother, that's exactly, you guys are brothers, you understand. So
I wouldn't be here without him. He wouldn't be here without me.
That's exactly how I viewed it. And no man left behind. And I only have one brother.
Yeah,
And I
100%.
see how all these other siblings are. They're not as close.
Dude, it's crazy
Oh
to
my
me.
God, it's so insane.
Right? How?
dude.
It doesn't make
It's
any
so
sense.
It's
insane.
because of where we're from.
Yeah,
You
I
guys are
think so.
Turkish.
Yeah.
I'm Romanian. We're
100%. It's
Yeah.
our European blood, dude. Like I remember I had
Yeah.
a one story was like it was back in high school, and my brother was I think was like dating this girl or whatever. I was at a party, and like her brother was there, and like we're coming out, and like you know, I don't want to be like, oh, they were white guys, but whatever.
yeah.
But they come out, and he like turns to me. He's like, "Are you Okan's brother?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Tell your fucking brother I'm gonna fucking kick his ass." I'm like, and I turn to him like, "Bro, if you think you're gonna kick my brother's ass, I'll beat the fuck out of you right now."
Yeah,
Like,
seriously.
get the fuck out of here. Like,
Yeah.
But like, there is no dynamic like that if you're not like if you don't have that European blood. It's
Seriously.
it's so weird.
It is quite strange, and I don't understand it because
Yeah.
I know a lot of people who are not close with their siblings. They'll have a few brothers,
Right.
and everything's just divided. And I'm like, how,
Because it's like the only person you could really trust.
dude?
Yeah.
It's your blood,
Yeah.
and you guys are close in age.
Yeah.
Even if you're not, even if there's 8 years between you or 10 years, that's still your brother,
Right.
So I'm fortunate. How what's the difference in age?
19
19
months?
months.
Okay, so that's amazing.
Yeah, we're like
And-
almost Irish twins.
See, it's fire. So same thing with my brother and I. Even sometimes people are like, "Are you guys twins?" No, but we're like 2 years, 10 months apart. But I always knew that whatever I'm gonna be doing, I want him to be just as involved because I can't see a world where I'm like a few states away working in some
Yeah,
job for
yeah.
what?
Doesn't make sense.
Doesn't
Yeah.
make
No.
sense.
Excuse me. And same thing with him is where is he gonna, and if I can see the world from like I'm a little bit older. You're older?
Yeah, I'm older.
You're older. So as an older brother, you see the world for what you have a few years or essentially, I mean,
Yeah.
you said 19 months,
19
right?
months,
So
yeah.
you're-
So it's like a year and change, but you're a year ahead essentially. So you get to kind of pave the way. And that's how I want it to be for my brother. So my whole goal was to make sure that he had it easier than I had it.
Mm.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Oh yeah.
So I wanted to grow his pages, teach him the skills of growing his pages. Because for me, when I decided I wanted to do social media full time, like I said, that senior year, those last few months when I decided I wasn't going to go to college, it wasn't just, okay, let me just start posting consistently. I actually did a lot of research on TikTok's algorithm. There was a YouTuber, I forget his name, Robert Benjamin. So shout out him. He actually does like a bunch of algorithm
Okay.
Algorithm
Have to take a
videos.
look.
and
He still does it?
yeah, he still does it to this day because I actually check in like yearly to see if he's still posting, and
Oh,
he
nice.
is very consistently. And back then, I was watching all of his videos on TikTok's algorithm,
Right.
and I was just taking notes in my notebook, like just literally sitting there, not paying attention to class, paying attention to this dude, and I just started applying all of the lessons in his videos to my videos and seeing what was working and what wasn't. Hooks. He was talking
Yeah,
about the
yeah.
importance of hooks.
Of course.
At the time, he was saying posting times. Now I don't really pay attention to posting times, but
Yeah.
he was saying posting times and hooks and thumbnails and pacing and all these
Yeah,
different
all the
things.
fundamental.
All the fundamentals. And I started to write these things down in my notebook. I would share them with my friends or people that were interested as well in learning.
YouTube University, baby.
Dude, yes, exactly. So, and then to
But it's crazy though. Don't mean to cut you off there. It's like
All
crazy
good.
how much like you're in class, they're teaching you this, whatever they're teaching you, but like you could literally learn anything online now. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it's true.
Like if you want to know, you want to learn about it, it's so accessible.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So that's just wild that like you just kind of took that to your advantage.
I did, absolutely. Because the same thing with the drop shipping.
Yeah.
Nobody taught me that.
Yeah.
I didn't have anybody above me saying, yo, like it would be better for your website if you added this here.
Right.
Or when you're marketing, mention it within the first 5 seconds because retention drops off usually according to your data at 15 seconds.
Right.
Yeah.
So I didn't have anybody teaching me this stuff. It was all just trial and error.
And to even add to that, AI, it was not even here yet or was just coming out. So it wasn't like, hey, ChatGPT, how do you do this? You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You're doing like the real fucking work.
Yeah, like I'm going on YouTube, and how do you know which YouTuber is actually
Oh,
reliable?
Dude, it's terrible.
It was so bad. When we first started trying to learn all this stuff, I mean, one YouTuber says this, then another YouTuber says, oh, you can't be doing this. And it's just like, who the fuck do I like listen to?
Yeah, you just got to pick one and then go with it.
I agree. You got to pick one and go with it. Otherwise, you're going to be in analysis paralysis.
Yeah, 100%.
Just going to sit there and be like, this guy said not to post at this time or multiple times a day, but this guy did. But like, how many followers does that guy have?
Yeah,
or
it's
this
just
guy?
like, just pick one. And what was I going to say? Do you think like anyone could do this? You think like getting into the content game, building up their personal brand? Do you think it's for everyone?
Do I think everybody can do it? That's a tricky question. I think if the average person applied certain formulas and forced themselves to get in front of a camera, through repetition, they're going to eventually get it and do well. I think in that sense, anybody can do it. But the content game is about being around for as long as possible and staying relevant and being able to consistently get views.
Right.
I don't think a lot of people have the mental willpower to withstand all of the adversity that, being online for long periods of time comes with,
Right.
if that makes sense.
Yeah. Would you say it's like a volume game?
I would say it's a volume game, yeah.
Like just output?
Yeah, I would say it's output.
How many times a day are you guys posting?
So on Instagram, which is what I've been going hard, that's the platform I've been going the hardest on for the last.
It's also the platform that is the most monetized.
Exactly. It's more impressive if you have more followers on Instagram rather than TikTok.
It's like more loyal followers.
Exactly. If you have 1 million on TikTok versus 1 million on Instagram, people are like, yo, he has 1 million on Instagram.
Right.
Yeah.
I feel like there's something with TikTok where like people are following you, but like a lot of them are faceless accounts, right? They're just, most people on TikTok aren't creating TikToks.
Yeah.
Right. So they're just like kind of watching, but on Instagram, it's almost like your identity.
Yeah.
Right. So it's like tied to like if you get a follower from someone on Instagram, that's like their identity is like attached to that.
It's true.
You know what I mean?
I agree with you, because same thing with if we didn't know each other and you said, hey, Damian Apici, okay, what's his Instagram? Let me see his Instagram. Not really, let me see his TikTok. Even if you're not a creator, like if you want to, if let's say you're meeting a girl or your friend is planning on hanging out with a girl, let me see her Instagram. Let me see her Instagram.
Right.
That's kind of how your identity is attached in today's age. But to answer your question, how many times I post a day? So at the peak last year, I was posting on just Instagram around 7 or 8 times a day.
Oh, shit.
But 5 of those, they were not all new pieces of content.
They're repurposing.
They were repurposed trial reels. Because I don't know if you guys are aware, I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Trial reels is unreal.
Yeah.
Absolutely
How
unreal.
do you use the trial reels to your advantage exactly?
So I'll explain the entire process, because I can talk about trial reels for...
Oh,
if you search on Instagram... Oh, shit, I just hit the mic.
No,
You're good. You're good.
If you search up on Instagram right now, I think still to this specific day, Instagram trial reels, if you put in that into Instagram search bar, I have real estate on that cover. Like there's videos of me talking about Instagram trial reels. Try it. I want to see if I'm still there, because at one point I had like 4 videos
Just
on
in the
that front
search bar?
cover. Just in the search bar, just search Instagram trial reels.
Let's see.
This would be so embarrassing if
If you're not there anymore.
if I'm not there.
No, it's all good.
But
Instagram.
Space trial space reels.
Yeah, you're the first one.
Let me see.
You're first.
Okay, and I'm there twice. All right, so I have some real
Oh, shit,
estate.
fire.
Yeah.
Shit joke. Anyway, you caught that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So trial reels came out. What was it? It was like beginning of last year.
Yeah, it was beginning of last year. It just came out.
Okay, so I was notified by a friend about trial reels being released, and he said it's a type of reel that's posted to only non-followers, and it doesn't pop up on your page. So my mind is just racing now. I'm like, non-followers only, not on my page. I was like, I can just spam this with already viral pieces of content because I'm posting it to non-followers.
Yeah.
So I'm just capturing new people with old bangers.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
I was like, this is insane. If this is actually going to be like a real feature and it's as good as I think it is. So what I did was I went back to every TikTok page under Apici, so my mom's, my dad's, my brother's, and mine. And I went and found every viral video we had in the last 4 or 5 years and because in the beginning you can just repost the
Same
video
exact-
as is
yeah,
to trials, and you were
right.
good.
Now they changed
And
it.
was there a limit back then? I don't
No,
think so.
there was no limit.
No, it was so broken,
Oh my
and I
God.
abused it.
That's fucking nuts.
And I was at last year, this time. I actually started the trial reels method that I put together like this week last year.
Damn.
Funny
Wow.
enough. And this time last year I was in the 400,000 follower range, 4 to 500,000. And now I'm at 1.4 million. And a large reason for me growing so fast was because of trial reels. So what I did was I took all of these old viral pieces of content, and at the time, like I said, you didn't have to re-edit them. So take them as is. I had a app that allows you to remove the watermark from TikTok, and I would take all of these videos and I would just upload them to trials. I would leave like an hour between posting, just because I didn't want to get shadow banned or risk anything from spamming their platform.
Right.
So I don't know if it ever really mattered, but I did leave some time in between posts, and I remember I was doing like 5 a day.
Wow.
Along with new content. So how the funnel worked was I was getting hundreds of thousands, millions of views on the back end, all new people, and I was shooting up in followers like I've never seen before. It was almost just like that. My page was back on track, because I kind of hit like a wall a little bit in terms of growth. And just like that, I'm gaining a few thousand followers a day again. And so is my brother, because he was using the method as well. So I would caption the videos regularly, and I would put a call to action in the caption, like check part 2 on my page, or the pinned video is even funnier, or I would put check out, like you should see what's on my story, something to invoke curiosity, so they would then go onto my page, because once people are already on your page and watching more of your content, you're building that rapport there, they're more likely to follow you. So my goal was to get them from the trial to my page, so they can follow, and then I can nurture them as a follower through just my new posts coming out.
Dude, that's so sick. I mean, it's crazy, because it's like, we just started using trial reels a couple months ago, and I feel like it's how when the reels just got released and like anything was like just going off.
Yeah.
Now it's just the same thing with trial reels. I feel like I don't know if you have this same perspective, but do you think it's harder to get the engagement that you get on your normal reels than it is from trial reels, or is it like kind of balanced?
I would say it's pretty balanced, because there's times I'll repurpose an old banger on trials and it won't perform. It'll perform the same as my regular reels, but at the end of the day, a good video is going to perform like a good video should. So that's my outlook on it. But to this day, I have a few videos that I refer to as my golden videos, that every time I repurpose it as a trial, it'll get a minimum of 10 million views.
Wow.
So if you look at my analytics on Instagram, on just my page, not even counting my brother's page, which was also applying the same method, I was posting, there's like 3 videos that just always do really well. If you look at the analytics, it'll be like 30 million views. Then I posted again, 28 million views, 37 million views, 10 million, and it's just capturing all of these people that have never seen that video before. Or what happens is people watch that video, not follow. You know how you see the same memes all the time on Instagram?
Yeah.
That was my philosophy behind not caring to publish them over and over again, because if they see it again and they found it funny but they didn't follow, maybe the second or the third time be like, okay, I'm gonna follow.
Yeah, it's so true.
Because the psychology behind, people actually going ahead and following you or purchasing something online is, and you need to see it all the time.
Yeah, it's like the retargeting effect.
Exactly. That happened with me and Neurogum. Like I kept seeing Neurogum, those Joe Rogan clips, and then I was like,
eventually
dude,
you get it.
I was like, I'm gonna just buy it.
But they know what the fuck they're doing with that too.
They do. And it's the same Joe Rogan clip. He's like, oh, like you ever use this stuff? Like,
Right.
And then eventually I'm like, all right, bro, like just,
let me get some of that gum.
just send me some to my house. But
Did you ever like dabble with like clipping, like clippers?
yes, but I did it in a more hands-on manner, I would say. So I would say, the Tates created like a revolutionary they made clipping what it is because they had like this entire system where they were pushing out all of these clips summer 2022. And this was when I was blowing up.
Right.
So I said, wow, like, why can't I do that? I have so many viral clips. And the way I was filming my videos is I would film twice a week, you know, let's say, and I would bring friends in because I can't, how many times can I wax my legs? It takes a while to grow it back. It's painful. Good like point. I don't want to, like, it hurts. I'm doing it for the videos.
Right.
Same with my brother. So we bring my friends in. We had all these clips, right? So, and it's funny because I don't know why I did this, but I wouldn't film all the way through with my, I was filming on my phone. I wouldn't just film like an hour. I would just like keep stopping and starting. So I just had like all these clips in my camera roll that were anywhere between 15 to 45 seconds. So what I would do is I would just piece together the funniest moments from all these clips and upload them, and that's how I was doing well. So I thought if I take all of these clips and I put them in a shared album, I can find clippers. And at the time, like I said, the monetization program wasn't that good on TikTok. But if you did well, you can still earn a few $100 a month, you know. So I figured, let's give it a shot. I posted on my private story on Snapchat to my friends. I said, if you want a clip for me, you can, you know, monetize through their program. I'll give you all my clips. I'll teach you how to edit them and piece them together. You guys already know what's funny because you guys are my friends. You've spent time with my mom and I, so you know what's going to perform well. You see my videos. I'll give you the clips. You can keep all the money you're making from the page. And there was also an affiliate program I was monetizing with at the time, where if you get people to download an app, you get like $4 per download or $4 per. It was like insane. It was this guy with this app. I don't know if it's still around. It was called like Stacks. And you can pin comments on TikTok back then. So I would pin a comment, yo, that like solitaire cash game just made me like $100. I just bought some McDonald's. Like, yo, this is crazy. And I would pin the comment, and then people would download the game and start playing. I don't know if the game you can actually earn money, but like, I was just doing that at the time, here and there. But then I stopped doing it because it was just like kind of dumb. And like, I don't know, like it was like not really doing that well. But I had my friends, that was another incentive I had for them for clipping so they can monetize this. They would pin comments about, you know, the link in bio. You had to get like 5 or 10K to have a link in bio. Then you put that, download whatever game, and then they can get some extra cash doing that. So they were earning a couple $100 from the creator fund and a couple hundred extra bucks through marketing these random apps.
So you never really saw an ROI from the clipping side of stuff?
I would say probably not. I mean,
I think with that, it's pretty. I guess not monopolize isn't the word, but like Kick and all that, like these live streaming platforms really have control over that. Seems like
it's true. And the way I was doing it was really ineffective because I just told my friends, hey, like here's all my clips, go post, and they weren't even that consistent. Mind you, they still made like some money from it. You know, we just came out of high school. Everybody's getting ready to go to college.
Right.
Few hundred extra bucks for posting content that's already viral, proven to be viral. It was easy for them. And, you know, I had like 5 guys at peak. One kid had like 15K, he built his page up to 15K. One of my friends, 30K, another one, 25K, and then other ones with like a few thousand. And like it was doing well. It was probably an extra 20 million, 30 million views a month, but you know, that ended up stopping.
So how would you recommend, like for us, because we mainly do like podcast style for now, like we just not just got into it, but we've been doing it for like just a little bit.
Sure.
And we're trying to grow our personal brands. We focus a lot on building client personal brands. Like what would you recommend for us to kind of start with? Like you would say like organic speaking to the phone is probably the best way to go about it.
For you guys specifically, right?
Yeah. Like I feel like sometimes it's hard for us to like get it out because we're just so focused on running the business or whatever.
I understand.
Is it more like just personality, like you're just talking to the phone, or is it like, are you trying to relay a message? Like how do you, like, what would you tell somebody?
So it depends how you're going to go about it, because some people play the volume game where they put out everything and anything while still providing value. And then other people are more articulate with, you know, maybe they'll post 2 times a day, but those posts are extremely intentional. But considering you guys run an agency and that you guys have clients that where you're actively, like you guys said, right, you're building people's pages and
Right.
you're getting them monetized. You guys are in best case scenario because you guys have certain strategies, I'm sure, when it comes to monetizing or helping these creators monetize or building their pages. And if your clients don't mind you know, using their name, you have to start with a really good hook in the beginning. So for me, for example, in the summer, I made a video about trial reels. My hook for that video was people think I'm buying followers on Instagram and then I told them why. So all of a sudden they see this video, and I actually posted it as a trial. I didn't even post it to my main feed because it was a head talking video. That's not what my page is used to. So all these people probably saw me getting, you know, no engagement on that post because it was a trial reel at first. So it took a while for it to do well. It's at like 1 million views now. But they probably were like, this has like no engagement. He's claiming he has 1 million followers. And they click on my page and then they see, and then they're like, what? This is probably a trial. So it's all about the hook in the beginning. So you can say, what a lot of creators don't understand is that, or you can say, Facebook is paying more than ever this month, and then you give them some sort of social proof. We built this client to 4K a month passively, him doing absolutely no work, just, you know, blasting his clips all over Facebook. Here's how we did it. So the whole idea is hook and then provide some sort of social proof,
Right.
and then explain, like provide the value, right? So step 1, you do this. Step 2, this. Step 3. And, you know, there's obviously certain intricacies within, like saying in the beginning, step 3 is the most crucial. So make sure you stay till step 3 because that's going to be really the one that accelerates your growth. So then they're like, oh, step 3. So now they have to watch all the way to the end, which increases your watch time, which is what's going to push your video even more because, as you guys know, watch time is the most important metric.
I think they just dropped a new update too. Mosery said that the algorithm for watch time is like way more heavily weighted now.
Really?
So it's like you have to. It's not just about somebody stopping on your video and then like watching the first 3 to 5 seconds and maybe skipping and counting as a view. Like you have to they have to like actually like interact with it. So stay to the entire video, like reshare, like it's all the watch time is getting way more heavyweight than like all the other metrics.
Yeah.
It's like YouTube.
Yeah.
You know?
And it makes so much sense because if you reverse engineer whoever is building these algorithms out, the whole idea is to raise the value of their platform. And how do you do that? By keeping active users all the time.
Yeah, and coming back.
Right. So that's how they're incentivizing creators to continue to post, is by saying, they don't say it, but you know, when you look at your metrics, your most popular videos, they have the best watch time. They're essentially telling you the longer you can get the viewer to watch, the more we're going to reward you. So you should optimize to make good content that's going to keep creators on the platform so we both win.
Makes sense.
So that's why I heavily promote making sure your watch time is there. Like some of my most viral videos, the watch time is, let's say I have a video, it's like 17 seconds, 18 seconds, and the watch time average is like 19 seconds. So they watched it all plus 1 second, which is optimal. And I believe what you just said because my friend who runs my Facebook page, he actually just told me, he's like, hey, I've noticed in the data that, you know, a lot of these shorter videos are doing extremely well. Obviously because it's shorter and there's less time spent, but he said within the first, I forget the exact metric, but it's like a 400% increase compared to your videos that are a minute long. Because I started doing minute long videos because back in the day, TikTok, you had to do a minute long videos to get paid. But yeah, I would say in your guys' in your guys' situation, when it comes to making these talking head videos, if that's the route you want to go down, you have to just come up with a really strong hook. No, I mean, you guys know this. No, like, hi, my name is, all this stuff. Yeah. It's just because people are scrolling for selfish reasons. Like intrinsically, a lot of people don't realize it, but you're either there to laugh or learn something.
Yeah, 100%. That's the value. It's either laugh or learn.
Right. So you need to, within the first 3 seconds, you need to tell them you're either going to laugh or learn something. So, boom, I built this guy to this many followers. Here's how I did it. People accuse my agency of botting followers for our clients, but in reality, we're just extremely good at curating certain videos that allow for the watch time to be through the roof, right? Some crazy hook, that's a little long, but you get my point. And then you say, I'm going to break down in the next 60 seconds, you're going to walk away being This is like triggering the dopamine, so they stay till the end, to where it's almost like stupid if they scroll, right? You'd be like, by the end of this video, you'll be a master at viewer retention. And they're like, oh my God, by the end of the video, I'm going to be a master. I can't scroll now. And then they watch all the way to the end. Your video does good. People comment questions.
Right. But like, what about like the entertaining part? Like, how do you, because like, think about like TJR, you know?
Yeah.
Or like the other guy, like Daddy Wellness.
Yeah.
Like it seems like they're on like a volume game.
Absolutely.
Right? Where they're just like spamming the post button, but they're adding that like, they're adding so much entertainment to the viewer.
Staying funny all
Yes,
the time.
like, you know what I mean? Like
I feel like I'm not a funny person.
I disagree.
Oh, yeah?
I think you're funny.
Oh, thanks, man.
But yeah, I know what you mean. It's definitely a volume game for them in their world. Because I've seen, TJR post like 40 times a day, 50 times a day.
That's insane.
It's pretty nuts. I saw a video of him talking about it where he said, yeah, I'm posting, I think it was 40 times a day, he said, or more.
Yeah, that's what I heard, yeah.
And same thing, I saw Daddy Wellness make a clip about that as well.
He put a video out like in Dubai where he's just coming out of that like metallic pod. It just looks like it's like out of an alien world.
Yep.
His face wasn't even in it. It had 145,000 likes. Like,
yep.
It's fucking crazy.
I saw that video.
Yeah.
You know?
So I would say in that case, if you want to go down that route, I mean, this ties back to a point from earlier where you said, can anybody do this?
Right.
That kind of volume, I don't think so at all, because you need to also be interesting. Those guys built themselves outside of social media to where when they pick up the phone and the camera, their lifestyle is what's selling.
Yeah.
True.
Because they're in the penthouse, or in their own house. They have these really nice cars. They just have that look about them, when they turn on the camera. You can almost just tell, but I don't think anybody can do that style. And if somebody wanted to go down that route of just putting out volume like that to where you're posting more than 10, 20 times a day, I would say whenever you have a unique thought about literally anything, you should just pick up the camera,
Agreed.
Focus on only the hook, and then just yap for the rest of it.
Yeah, it's true.
You know what I mean? So you kind of go through. Let's say you're in the shower, and let's say you don't have a speaker and you're in the shower not listening to any music. It's just you and your thoughts. You're driving. You don't have the music on. You're thinking about a bunch of different things, and you get these like weird opinions on certain subjects.
Dude, shower thoughts are strong, bro.
Strong.
They are.
And sometimes music can amplify it,
Yeah.
depending what music you're playing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I would say, and I forget who had this method. It might have been, it was Higher Up Wellness. Do you know who that is?
No.
He talks a lot about content. His stuff is really good. He said, anytime I have a unique thought, I go on TikTok itself, I open the camera, and I film like 1 or 2 seconds to where you can hit the check mark and go forward to the editing. And then I write my thought right there. So if I can't film it in the moment, I can come back later and film it.
That's smart.
So literally right as you are having that idea that just comes to fruition inside of your mind, and so you don't lose it, you have to put it inside of your TikTok drafts so you don't forget to carry that idea out.
Because that thought will disappear.
Exactly. And I haven't tried that yet. But
I might try that.
That's
I
saw that and I was like, this is ball game.
Yeah.
I like that.
This is definitely really good. So aside from that, I remember I'm referring to the Tates a lot, but their cousin that actually runs like a lot of the back end. I don't know if you're familiar. He's like Luke.
Luke,
Yeah. So I watched, I want to say it was something from Hustlers University. It was like Luke talking and giving some lessons. And he said essentially the same thing, but more so for business and what he has to do the next day. But it ties in. Once you get the idea, open your notes and write it down immediately so you don't forget. So it's essentially the same concept. He said he sleeps next to his phone. So while he falls asleep, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure this is what he said, or maybe this is my interpretation, but he sleeps near his phone. So while he's falling asleep, if he gets a good idea, he can just turn over and real quick write it down and then go back to that like theta state of like falling asleep.
I love that frame, that perspective, like putting it, like doing it like that. I feel like I could crush that because I always get these ideas, but I'm not comfortable just like grabbing my phone and putting it out there.
Right.
But like if you keep building that catalog up, eventually you're just gonna go for it.
Absolutely, because you could be on the highway or something when you're driving,
right?
Or you can be mid conversation with a friend, And, you know, what are you going to do? Pick up your camera? There's just certain, you know, you could be in the doctor's office, and it's tough sometimes. So
it's true.
As long as you log that unique thought, I think it can be good.
Yeah, that's awesome, bro. That's I want to get into it. It's just I have like I think sometimes I think like I don't know, I get pulled by like political stuff, but I don't want to go political.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also have a problem with like I don't want to be the guy on social media to be like, you know, 3 tips on how you should change your settings on, you know, and I hate people like that because they're just regurgitating what everybody else said, and it's getting 300,000 views or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I want to help people actually, you know, get their story out, help build their brand, and show like how we're building other people's brand and monetizing it. I think that one of the biggest things is, like your case is super rare. Like you're part of the 1% of a 16-year-old getting $109,000, right?
Yeah,
getting hundreds of millions of views. Like you're part of the top 1%, maybe if not 0.5%.
Thank you.
Because there's another stat that is that came out for 2025. I think it's only like 10% of creators online make more than like 50 grand.
Oh, really?
And then 1% of creators make more than $100,000 a year.
Really?
Yeah. So
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So just think about that logic is, if you're making like, and don't get me wrong, like if you're making money through your business, but that's through your business, it's not as a creator.
Yeah.
But a lot of creators don't hit past $100,000.
Wow.
So the fact that you can even make past that, it puts you in a different category of people, because a lot of people, you know, they get 40,000 or even 109,000. Put into perspective, man. Your life could have went a totally different way,
dude. Yeah.
Right? You could have got that $109,000. Never figured out how to do past that anymore, and then eventually a year later, you're like, "Fuck, I'm posting 7 times a day. Yeah, I'm getting followers, but I'm not making money. How am I supposed to make a living out of this?" Right? And it's like people don't think about that. They think it's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get 1 million followers, and I'm gonna be rich," and that's not how that works.
Not.
You know. So that's just my rant on that. But you know, it's crazy, man. One thing I want to touch back up onto was because we kind of skipped past it, but getting your dad back into the content game. What was that like?
So my dad, so he always just kind of saw us doing the content thing, and it was like whatever. My dad was always anti-college. Mm-hmm. So 'cause he didn't go. He runs his own business, but it's just him. Like he has a food truck. Nice. A lot of people don't know that. It's literally just him. And he
still runs it today?
Still today.
What's it called? Shout it out.
Nick Apici's Catering. Nice. or Nick's Catering or something. Yeah, I think it's Nick's Catering. And he goes up and down 46, like Patterson, Clifton, Little Falls, that area.
What kind of food?
Breakfast, lunch, and then like a bunch of snacks, different drinks, coffee, you know, like sandwiches, breakfast stuff. Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Yeah, so that's what he does. He started doing it when he was in his 20s, and I think he actually went to a loan shark to get the money for the truck. Like initially, which is pretty interesting. But anyway.
The restaurant game ain't easy.
Yeah.
We'll tell you a story after you're done. But
sure. And, you know, I remember there was one time we were filming like a waxing segment in my kitchen, and he so happened to be there, and we like waxed like his hand. Mm-hmm. And he said something really funny. It's pretty inappropriate. I don't know if it's going to be appropriate enough to repeat. And funny enough, the guy that's running my dad's trial reels right now just reposted that clip like yesterday, and it's performing really well, and it reminded me to repost it soon. So like it was like a really old clip, probably from 2022, I'd say 2022. And it was him like making a really inappropriate joke while like getting waxed. Mm-hmm. And that's when people really said like, yo, dad, like new character, like, yo, this is crazy. And but then it stopped there. Like he didn't really come in all of the videos. He was like still around, but he smokes weed. So him, you know, that's where it started later. So that was 2022, and then the year went on. I was posting content, and then I started to film these arguments between my mom and my dad, where my mom would yell at my dad for going down to the garage to smoke, or you know, he would be talking about like having the munchies or just making jokes, right? So I started to film these true, organic, and raw moments and upload them. And he was saying like Zaza, like, you know, and people loved it. It just really stuck. And they're hilarious. The month of December 2022, so right before the new year, I had all these videos based around Za like blowing up. And at the time I was indulging a little bit. Now I don't. I haven't in years. But at the time I was indulging, and, you know, it was pretty interesting because you have a different type of demographic you're hitting now, to where it's not just the girls that love my mom and the guys that find my mom funny. It's now, you know, the stoners, or, you know, the younger kids who just find it funny that don't smoke. Right. Or even
it's a brand
the
new
dads.
audience.
So a brand new audience was unlocked around that time, and it was definitely interesting and changed the dynamic. And it also is when I started doing skits and started to stray away from the waxing, because the waxing just became too painful and unbearable. And I was like, dude, like, we got to, I wanted to transition away, because how long can you really do it for? You got to adapt to the times, and skits were at an all-time high around that point. So we decided to adapt, and, you know, we started with the za thing, and I noticed these were all, you know, the Snapchat bar. A lot of those viral videos around that time were the Snapchat bar videos. They were going stupid viral. So I decided to take the data that I had accumulated from those videos, what people are commenting about, why people like my dad, what was it that my dad said to my mom that triggered her, what did the comments say about my mom's reaction, and then I started to make skits based around, you know, the camaraderie that us four had. And that's kind of how it transitioned. And then my dad just became a character, to where people were expecting to see him every time they saw a video of ours.
That's awesome, man. Is it, from what I see too with a lot of creators, is when we first start with them, it's like very hard for them to step into that character. Did you find that at all, like going in your personal brand, or even your parents, like going fully into it, right? Like actually stepping in. It was when kind of the content starts taking off. Because I feel like some of the people that we work with in the beginning phases is like they were unsure. They didn't know what their character was. They didn't know if they want to talk about things. It's like kind of once you like fully step in and really just own it is like when the content starts to become authentic. Yeah,
I would say you have to be your authentic self at all times, because I know some guys that are absolutely frauding in front of the camera, and it's horrible.
It's the worst.
Like I'm seeing this stuff and I'm like, dude, like that is not you.
Yeah.
But why?
I don't
know.
It
makes your life harder.
Yeah, it makes everything harder.
Because then you have to put on a persona when you're meeting with all these different people, and, you know, you're interacting. If you get recognized in public and fans want to take a picture with you, you have to all of a sudden just snap into character.
Yeah, fuck that.
I just don't see it as a long term. You know, it's not sustainable
type of thing.
Say it again.
It's like a means to an end.
Exactly. So what I would say is try to remain as close to your authentic self as possible. Don't change for the camera, and just truly embrace who you are, because, you know, there's no reason to fake a personality or act like you're nicer than you actually are, or act like you're more holy than you actually are. So there's no reason to be doing that. And you also shouldn't care people's opinions. To an extent, I believe it does matter. I believe you should carry yourself well. I believe you actually should look to make a great first impression. All of this stuff is really important. But I mean in the sense of, if somebody's hating on you for taking that first step and trying to get out of your comfort zone, I always tell people hate doesn't come from above. They're truly just jealous or envious of the fact that you're willing to take that first step
100%.
And get outside of your comfort zone, because a lot of people don't. And like I said, they get stuck in analysis paralysis.
So true, man.
So that's what I would say.
How about just like you were talking about people your friend that's doing your Facebook. So it sounds like you kind of have a team around you now.
Yes.
How big is your team? What's your operations look like? What does it take to like put out that much content right now?
So that's actually something I'm in the process of figuring out, to be honest with you guys. So the hardest thing for me for a while was being okay with delegating work. Because there's a way I edit these videos. There's a way I film these videos.
So hard to let go, yeah.
And I know nobody's going to get it like me. So it's a little bit difficult when it comes to the delegation, and that's something I'm practicing right now. So in terms of a team, I have my cousin, Andre. He's from Romania. He's been managing my inbox and my representation as a manager essentially for 3 years it's been. I want to say it's been exactly 3 years since, he started representing us. So he represents us in Romania and he represents us here. But he lives in Romania, so, it's a little bit different. I am looking for somebody to represent us here as well. And so he takes care of all of that. My brother essentially has the same role as myself, which is the content creation, the content planning. And then I have one of my good friends running my Facebook, and he just stepped in to loud car. No, it's all good. He stepped into doing the trial reels for my mom's page and my dad's page on Instagram, and those posts are automatically cross-posted to my Facebook and my brother's Facebook for the monetization program there. And then my mom and my dad, their only thing, they want to be in the videos. Like, they don't mind being in the videos, so they don't have a role in the actual business itself. And then on the other side of things, this is how I've been monetizing as of lately, is I have almost like a coaching offer. Nice. Where I help other people create their personal brands, or if they're stuck at a certain level and they're looking to expand and get to the next level, I kind of help them with that as well. And in terms of a team there, I have a growth operator who kind of helps with the scaling of the business, somebody who knows the ins and outs, because I'm pretty new to that space, so I myself am trying to learn. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm, super well versed in that space yet, but still learning. I have a growth operator. He does a very good job. And then I have, DM setters, guys that are inside of my Instagram inbox doing inbounds, outbounds.
I think we talked to one of them.
Say it again?
I think we talked to one of them when we reached out.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, you might have. Yeah, you actually might have.
Yeah,
because it was around January, right?
Yeah,
100%. So I have DM setters, and then I have closer as well. They do, the setter sends to the closer, and then the closer closes, and then I do the fulfillment. And yeah, that's kind of how the team runs right now.
Nice, man.
We're looking to expand, of course, especially for output. Mm-hmm. I want to be collabing with more people, more creators, content creators. I want to be traveling more for collaborations. I want to be putting out YouTube videos. Yeah. That's something I haven't really taken on yet full-fledged, is the YouTube and the long form, which is something I'd really like to do. But right. I'm super aware that I'm going to need a team for this stuff.
Yeah.
And that's something I'd like to work on.
How's the coaching business going?
It's going pretty well. We started it back in December. Right now we're just trying to get off of get off the ground. It's a new business, so right. Getting all of the marketing in place, figuring out our ICP, so who exactly we're trying to cater to, who's gonna, like I said, be our ideal prospect, because right. we also don't want to just work with anybody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that takes time to figure out. Once you do figure out who that is, it's like you can kind of build off of that.
Yeah, so we're in the process of figuring that out. We do pretty well with it now, but obviously we want to take it to the next level. And I'm aware of my skill set, and I have the social proof to back that. And
yeah, that's huge, man.
I'd like to, continue to go down that route, because I also like to teach people. Like, my friends know, I'm always talking about content. It's like all we all talk about, and we're all feeding ideas and
100%, dude.
And trying new things together. And when it kind it's just more social proof.
So I got two last kind of questions to kind of, so where do you kind of see this going? Like, what is kind of your big vision with all this? Like, what you're building right now?
I just want to be the biggest creator. I think that's the point long term. I'm pretty competitive, so within the space of, being a content creator, I'd like to get to a level where everybody knows who I am, and my family as well. And that's just going to come with time and constant repetition. So mm-hmm. I want to continue to do content. Obviously, there's going to be pivots that are going to need to happen, because I'm aware my mom and my dad are getting older. I'm not going to want to put them in front of the camera. And right. I mean, I'm sure they would like want to still be a part of it and stuff, but I eventually don't want them to have to worry about that. So bigger picture, it's my brother and I just taking over the content game and really, really putting in that pain,
And through your entire journey and everything you've learned up to this point so far, what's like one thing that you would want to tell your audience? Like, number one, most important thing?
I would say don't change who you are for other people. That's something I definitely struggled with when I was younger, like really young, maybe middle school, early high school, was I was trying to adapt and switch who I was a little bit, cater to certain groups so I can be invited certain places, and that didn't do me any service. So
No.
I would say just remain your authentic self, do what you love to do, but try to get as big of a competitive advantage in whatever you're going to pursue as possible, and just be relentless, because you can't lose if you don't quit.
Yeah,
Love it, man. Thank you for taking the time to come out here, driving 35 minutes.
Yeah, thank you,
Appreciate you
Damien.
so much. Where can they find you?
I do it every day. Where can they find me? Damien Apici on all socials. Just my name, my last name.
Thanks, Damien.
Awesome,
Appreciate you
man.
having me on.
Thank you guys for having me.